She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
Welcome to another episode of Clean Your Dating Habits Up so that you can get the right results from your roster dating or dating altogether. I am your host, Arthur China T, Coach Erica, and today we're going to be delving into something that I don't even think we realize we have been doing for too long, but it's literally been costing us in this dating realm. Now, before I begin, I want to ask a question. Are you tired of always being the one to text first, plan dates, and keep the relationship moving? I know it's tiring at sometimes, ladies, but let's be real. Society has taught women to choose men based on their looks, status, and how they make us feel in that moment. But here's the problem. We didn't even know that we've been dating like men their entire time, and it's been costing us. When we date in a masculine way, that leads to us pursuing, leading, and sometimes controlling the direction of the relationship. And all we get from that is undesirable outcomes, okay? When women date in their masculine energy, they prioritize looks over a man's ability to provide and protect, leading to disappointing outcomes every time. This approach is rooted in a misunderstanding of the masculine and feminine roles in dating. That's why I try to get y'all back into y'all feminine space. Men are naturally wired to date based on physical attraction because they are visual creatures by nature, okay? It's a part of their biological DNA, their drive. Everything about a man is visual. But women are designed to select partners who can offer provision and protection that ensures stability and security. So when a woman chooses a man solely for his appearance, how good he looks on her arm, he tall, dark, and handsome, or how he makes her feel in that moment, she's now dating like a man. And what that does is lead to a dynamic where she often has to compensate for what he lacks, stepping into a masculine role of leading and providing. I know y'all got to be tired of that. She becomes the one initiating the planning of the dates, even financially supporting the relationship. This only drains her emotionally, but also forces her out of her natural feminine energy. And here's where the disconnect always comes in. Men who are used to being chosen for their looks are often accustomed to being pursued. They don't need to provide and protect. It's already been done for them. They've been conditioned to rely on their appearance and their charm. These men become too comfortable letting women lead because they've never had to do it more than anybody else. All they've had to do is show up, look good, and keep it moving. Sis, when we date in this type of way, we always end up attracting the passive men who expect us to be the provider and protector. We become the one planning and paying for dates, making decisions, and ultimately leading the relationship. That's too tiring. It creates an imbalance, leaving us feeling unfulfilled and exhausted. It's no wonder why so many of us feel drained and unappreciated at the end of the relationship, because we're taking on a role that was never meant for us to take on. Meanwhile, the type of men, they date for looks because that's what initially attracts them. And I told y'all to make sure y'all are well put together. But what keeps a man around is how a woman makes him feel, whether she allows him to lead, protect, and provide. Men need nurturing, but they also need to be in a protector stance and provider stance. Masculine men feel most purposeful when they take on their role properly. However, if you're dating in your masculine energy, sis, you're inadvertently stripping him of his purpose. He no longer feels needed. He don't see the need to pursue you, protect you, or provide because you feel like you can do it all yourself. Remember I told y'all about that? We got to break that cycle, okay? In order to do that, we have to start dating like feminine women and stop dating like men. Instead of choosing men based on the looks alone, we got to prioritize their capacity to protect and provide for us. Now, listen, this doesn't mean abandoning the physical attraction because, it plays a part. But we do not value that over provision and protection. That is the essential qualities that we're looking for in men. So by doing this, sis, we have to return to our feminine energy, attracting that masculine energy into our life that wants to lead, protect, and provide. And we got to learn how to start listening because a lot of y'all don't listen. The truth is men and women are designed to complement one another. When a woman embraces her feminine energy and she seeks out that protection and that provision, she allows her man to step into his masculine role and they create a balanced and fulfilling relationship. Now, this approach not only restores the harmony, but it also helps you feel cherished and secure, sis. And that's what you've been missing all along. Now, sis, because we're so used to playing the hard hand, we got to now become the softer version of ourselves, because we have to allow these men to get back into the roles of being the masculine men. Role reversal confusion, okay? Men who are naturally more comfortable in their masculine energy will feel disoriented and less inclined to pursue you, sis, when they sense that you are taking on a traditional masculine role. Stop it. It has to end. What you do is create a power imbalance or a dynamic where the man becomes passive and less committed. An emotional burnout, and we talked about this in a previous video. When you exert your masculine energy in dating by constantly initiating the contact, planning dates, or just trying to steer and control the relationship, you begin to now feel like emotional exhaustion and burnout. And this requires a lot of effort to maintain control, which can lead to a burnout and resentment if the effort is not reciprocated. And a lot of y'all have been there. We talked about that before. Aside from that, you're going to continue to attract passive partners. Women, when they date in a masculine way, attract men who are more comfortable in their feminine energy versus them being in their masculine energy. And they're passive by nature. If you desire a man who leads, you have to stop dating in the masculine way. This dynamic can lead to dissatisfaction and unmet expectations and unmet needs. Also, impair emotional connection. When a woman is constantly in her masculine energy, it hinders her ability to be vulnerable and emotionally open. That is essential for a deep emotional connection. I told you about being vulnerable. Your guardedness will prevent the relationship from progressing into a more intimate level. It also diminishes your feminine energy, which doesn't allow you to embrace the masculine energy while you're dating. And what that does, it suppresses your natural feminine qualities such as receptivity, softness, and emotional expression. This suppression leads to you feeling inadequate and inauthentic, and it leads to the imbalance in your life. The unmet needs that lead to frustration. Sis, you're going to find yourself in situations where your emotional needs are not being met because you are constantly giving them to the men rather than receiving. This going to lead to you being frustrated and feeling underappreciated. Now, when we talk about emotional burnout, all that effort that you've exerted is got exhausting, right? Planning the dates, trying to maintain contact, trying to keep hope alive in a relationship, trying to keep it moving. Now you feel drained. You're going to always feel burnt out and underappreciated because you're giving way more than you are receiving. When you attract the wrong men into your life, you're going to be dating in your masculine energy. And that's often going to bring in passive men or men who don't think they have to do much for you. Men who are more comfortable letting you lead them more than they lead you. If you desire a strong masculine man, take the initiative. This dynamic leaves you feeling fulfilled. But if you don't, you're going to always attract passive men, which leads to unfulfillment and frustration. You're going to keep blocking your emotional intimacy. When you're always in control, it's going to be hard for you to be vulnerable. You build emotional walls that keep you from truly connecting. And I told y'all about that. That's why the relationship never deepens how you want it to deepen. And then it goes back to those unmet needs and being frustrated. You end up giving more and more and more and receiving less than you want, feeling emotionally drained, depleted, and over it. Now you got emotional burnout. Now you want to take a break. I know you're asking, how do we break the cycle? Well, that's the whole purpose of this channel. In the Never Date Just Once Sis book, as well as the Clean Your Dating Habits Up channel, I dive deep into helping you return to your feminine energy to attract the right masculine energy who's going to pursue you, lead you, and make you feel cherished. Don't keep making the same mistakes. Now let's talk about the cost of prioritizing looks over provision and protection. When you date for looks, you end up choosing men who are used to being chased. Men who rely on their appearance and charm but lack the capacity to provide or protect for you. And then what happens next? You get stuck. Now you're stuck in your masculine energy, trying to compensate for what they're not giving you. So tiring. You become the provider. You become the protector. And then you lose your feminine essence, which now puts you in a place of frustration, and you always feel like you're screaming loud, telling somebody's off. That we got to end that right now. You got to understand the man's role in your life. If you want to attract a masculine man who leads, protects, and provides, you have to shift your focus and get back to your feminine energy. That's where Feminine Fridays come in at. Stop dating like a man. Stop looking for men based on their looks. Instead, evaluate their capacity to provide and protect for you. That's how you date in your feminine energy. Men are going to always be visual creatures, sis. They're attracted to beauty, and that's okay. That is what they're supposed to do. But here's the catch. They pursue, protect, and provide for the women who allow them to lead, their type, and who values their role as a man. You will be pursued if you are his type, if you are in your feminine energy. If you continue to date in a masculine way, looking for a man that's handsome and all of those things, you're going to continue to get the results. When we're roster dating, looks takes no precedence over provision and protection. Okay, so when we're out there dating, there may be somebody who looks great who can protect and provide, but you also need to delve a little deep to see exactly if you are this person's type. Because I told you, y'all go after y'all type, but you really need to find a man that you're his type. And if you're his type, he's gonna protect, he's gonna provide, he's gonna give you stability, he's gonna make you feel secure in who you are as a woman in that union and moving forward. But you got to step back from your masculine energy. You've been doing it too long, sis, and you've been doing it all wrong. And if we had been taught the right way in the time that we should have been taught when we were teens, which is why I tell y'all to bring y'all little sisters, y'all cousins, y'all daughters, everybody from 15 on up to this channel. They have to learn how to stay in their feminine energy if you would like to see your daughter married by the time she's 25, by the time she's 30, as opposed to running around chasing behind men that don't want her. For the men that come to this channel, I'm talking to you as well. You don't know how to teach your daughter how to date feminine. And because you probably never pursued her mother, or they've never seen you love her mother correctly, they don't even know what it looks like. This is a channel for your daughters. This is a channel for your nieces. This is a channel for the neighborhood girls that keep running behind men who have already lost their virginity. This is for the grown women who don't know where to go and how to get to the results that they're looking for. Never date just once, sis, is where you need to start. Clean your dating habits up and return back to your feminine energy. I'm not telling you this just because it's another day on the chopping block. I'm telling you this because if you're trying to get to different results, whether you're dating one person or dating multiple people, you're going to have to return back to your feminine energy where you are pursued, where you are valued, where you are cherished, and you are held on a pedestal. If you keep pursuing men, you're not going to get what you're looking for. But you will get you some man boys that need you to take care of them, and that's just what it's going to be. If you're tired of that energy, you're in the right place. So let's make that change together, sis. We're shifting our masculine energy into our feminine state. And we're starting with Feminine Fridays and all the other channels on this network so that we can get back to a place where men pursue us. I'm with you, sis. I got you. See y'all later.